Oh, it's just slow today. And just like that, somehow we've staggered through to Friday. I don't know where the weeks go. I know he's got tons to say. Hi, everybody. I'm Russ Kane. This is the Midday Show. Welcome wherever around the world you're watching the show. You're ever so welcome. We love having you here. He's fearless. He's brave. He's bold. He doesn't care what he says because he shoots from the lip. Ladies and gentlemen, our wonderful theatre critic, Mr. Jonathan Baz.
Well, Russ, what a welcome as
Indeed.
always.
Well,
And of course,
yes,
this week has seen your promotion to my trusty lieutenant as you trudged up from Trafalgar Square to reach the Garrick Theatre, and you very nobly stood in for me to see the producers.
Anytime, it's something as good as that.
Give me your take on seeing that show, because I can shut the F up on this occasion.
Hey!
Hand it over to you for a few minutes.
It first. Right, the producers is on at the Garrick Theatre. Obviously, it was the play, the film, one of my favourite films of all time, written by my favourite comedian of all time, Mel Brooks. The producers came out worryingly in 1967. 1967. And the conceit of the show is there's a really lousy Broadway producer called Max Bialystock, and this hopeless, hapless accountant comes in to check his books, who's a nervous wreck called Leo Bloom. And Leo Bloom, as an aside, said, Max, do you realize you'd make more money if the show was a huge flop rather than a hit? And if we could raise all the money, like $2 million, and the show closes in one night, you get to keep the $2 million, less the expenses of putting it on for one night. Max Bialystock grabs onto this idea, and they set out, the two of them, rather reluctantly with Leo Bloom in tow, to create the worst show ever. And it is called Springtime for Hitler, a Gay Musical. The title says it all. And I went with trepidation. I know it's been going on for some time, and I went with trepidation. I was in a pretty lousy mood, to be honest with you. I was beginning to feel a bit claustrophobic in the Garrick. I'm sitting on my Onio, but I got a free program, so that was good, and a free drinks voucher, even better. And I was entranced. I because I loved the film so much. I knew nothing about the musical, and I loved every freaking second of it. I loved it. I was laughing. I was doubled over at one point, holding my tummy because I was laughing that much. Richard Kind, you may not have heard of him. I was chatting with my pal Colin about it, and he said, oh, you know who he is? I'm like, I don't know who he is. And he showed me a picture. Oh, that guy. He's one of those that you go, oh, that guy. He is Max Bialystock. He's great. I haven't got the program right in front of me, so I'm not going to turn around and get it. It was terrific. If you haven't seen it, do yourself a favor. Go see it. It was absolutely marvelous. I loved it. That's the producers at the Garrick.
And I'm so glad that you enjoyed it that much, because I know you're a tough act to entertain.
Well, I get bored. I get bored easily, and if the writing's bad, I'm sitting there in my head rewrite. Be honest with you, I'm rewriting it because that's what I do.
And I think the genius of that stage show as well is how Mel Brooks took his story, then went and wrote a whole load of new songs to fill out a show, a Broadway show, and then a West End show. Yeah. And all of those songs land perfectly.
They really do. They really do.
The rhymes, the rhythm, the wit.
And they push the show along.
Yes.
Which is one of the things I really have a problem with a musical, because everything's going on. And, hey, Jonathan, let's sing a song. Ooh, let's do that, Russ. And you get this song, and you go, well, that hasn't moved the plot. It hasn't moved it along. And this moves it along.
That song at the end when he's in court and Leo Bloom says, and they both sing to each other, nobody ever really inspired my life till him, as they both, it's a love song between Max and Leo.
It's a wonderful thing. And
it's gorgeous. It is so gorgeous. I mean, Mel Brooks,
the audience went wild. I mean, wild. Standing ovation. And the genius of Richard Kind, who has the physicality of the great Zero Mostel, as close as you're going to get, right? You can't recreate perfection. And he just, I don't know when you saw it, if he did the same sort of thing when Andy Nyman was doing it. just a look, he got a round of applause. A shrug of the shoulder, he got a round of applause. It was just that good.
Yeah.
You don't get many shows where just a single look and you get a round of applause. It was hilarious. I loved it.
Yep, it's a great show. Glorious, and it is glorious, which brings me on to the next show for us to talk about, which is a show called Glorious, which I saw at Windsor last week. It's currently on tour. I think it's about to go to Barnstable and then go all over the country. And it is a play with songs about Florence Foster Jenkins.
Oh, Lord.
Who famously sung extremely badly. And one way or another, her musical career escalated her to a concert for one night only in her senior years, where she filled the Carnegie Hall in New York. Truly did. People loved her. They wanted more. And she actually sadly died not long after the Carnegie Hall.
Yeah, that was the weird thing, wasn't it?
And the play is about her. The focus of the play is her and her pianist, and a couple of other side characters bolt into the narrative, written by Peter Quilter, who is a clever man for writing plays with songs. Wrote End of the Rainbow about Judy Garland a few years ago. Wendy Peters plays Florence Foster Jenkins. Wendy Peters can sing, and she really has clearly rehearsed extremely well so as to be able to sing badly.
Yeah, not easy to do if you're a professional singer. Easy for me
to do. Well,
because you just say, Russ, sing your best, and you go.
You and me, we're naturals at it.
Yeah, you and I, we would be.
We are the Bialystok and Bloom of bad singing. Wendy Peters, of course, is a class act. She does it wonderfully, and I have to say, her habanera from the habanera from Carmen.
I don't know what it was called.
That one, which I just sang very badly.
No, I get it.
Her take on the habanera will, I think as the phrase goes, stay with me for a very long time. It was that bad. Now. Yeah, indeed. It really is, though. Glorious it's a charming night at the theatre. It's a lovely story about this woman in pursuit of her dream. We encounter the naysayers, we encounter the people who throw verbal brickbats at her, and how she just sails on through it.
I'm assuming let me just ask,
Go on.
I assume she thinks she's a great singer. Is that it?
She thinks there's nothing wrong with her. She thinks she's got
Good for her.
And I'd say it's charming. Opposite her is an actor who's, I understand, is relatively famous from EastEnders. I've never heard of him, playing her pianist. A pianist is called Cosme. The name of the actor is Matthew James Morrison. For those of you who are familiar with Albert Square, you may recognize that name. As I say, and he's great. He brings the right amount of style and panache to being her pianist. The dynamic, the dialogue that sparks between the two of them is lovely. And as I say, it's a great performance from Wendy Peters in a show. The set is quite simple. It's been built for the road. And if it shows up in your town, and you enjoy a pleasant night at the theatre, then really this delivers that experience. It's very lovely, and you come out with a nice feeling of having spent time well spent. Oh, do you want me to tell you where the tour dates are? Bear with me, and I will tell you.
Because people watching all over the UK.
Okay, so from April the 2nd, it's in Barnstaple. Then for a week, it moves to Malvern, then Oxford, Basingstoke, Cheltenham, Guildford.
Wow, yeah, that's a tour and a half.
That's the Waitrose circuit. Then it moves up.
Absolutely. Then it goes down to the Little Aldi circuit.
Yeah, then it goes to Darlington, Coventry, and Mould on the Welsh borders.
That's all right. Mould's nice. Mould's okay.
So, not so great. Not the lengthiest of tours, But as I say, if it's coming to a theatre near you, and of course the great thing about regional theatre is the prices of the tickets, where everything is incredibly affordable. Highly recommended. It's not a must see, but it is a charming.
It's a nice to see. How about that? It's nice to see.
A night at the theatre that was a little more tedious was the night that I got to
just interrupt for 1 second. Because
go for it.
I always like you to know that people do, like they do with Chantal, they do listen to your recommendations. This is from Mark Simons. Hi, Jonathan. I saw Here There Are Blueberries a few weeks ago. Thanks for the recommendation. It was excellent. There we go.
Well,
I'm glad you liked it.
Thank you. Glad to hear that. Now, something that as I say, I sat through last night at the National Theatre, Summerfolk, which is a classic written by Maxim Gorky, just set in Russia at the turn of the 20th century. So the revolution hadn't yet happened. This version has been written by Nina Raine and Moses Raine, who've taken the dialogue from the Russian and converted it into English, directed by Robert Hastie. It's in the Olivier, the big space at the National Theatre. The set has cost a fortune. There's all sorts of clever things that fly up and down from up above. There's ponds and rivers on stage. And there's a massive cast as well. I mean, it truly is a massive Russian spectacle, and some of the acting's pretty good as well. But the dialogue, it really, it's highly political. It's really setting out the point that these middle classes who've decamped to their dashers for the summer out in the Russian forests and countryside, hence they're called the summer folk. And we have them here. We have people who decamp to Provence or Cornwall or Southwold. These privileged people, the chattering classes. And around them, of course, the peasants. And of course, these privileged people all got their comeuppance in 1917.
Didn't go well. Let's put it that way.
Too wet for them. And that's what the essence of this play is about. But it takes 3 hours to tell something that could have been told in far less time. And ideally, I would have liked a finer degree of crafting in the dialogue. So I sat through it. I'd invite other people if they're so inclined to watch it too. But I have to say, it's, if you want to go and see the story of what Summerfolk is about, it probably does get you through the rudimentary mechanics of Gorky's classic. But the politics really are party political broadcast.
Are they trying to make it relevant for 2026 in Britain? Is that the deal?
Well, they're trying to make the English relevant to 2026 in Britain. I'm not, I frankly, it struck me as, your typical West End theatre audience, which this week, of course, includes you and me. They're laughing at.
I don't read The Guardian.
That's your one. That is your one redeeming feature, Mr. Kane. You do not read.
All I've got going for me is I don't read The Guardian.
Do not read The Guardian, and for that I salute you.
Thank you very much.
But the theatre, it is very much a privilege. It's very much certainly London theatre is a reserve, unfortunately, for the privileged classes. Because it ain't cheap.
Because the ticket prices are nuts.
Though, to be fair, the National, to their credit, their top price is generally south of £100, which is decent. But either way, I kind of thought these people are staring at a story that's all about themselves when they get their comeuppance in 1917. So it's not a must-see by any means. Revolutionary theatre, only time will tell, is how I wrapped up my review on that one. Something far more cerebral and not bad really was Henry V at Stratford-on-Avon. A little bit of Shakespeare.
Yes.
So I'm well aware. Sorry, that's a line from the Producers. There's that song, "We Can Do It."
We can do it. We can do it.
And it rhymes with. And there's a rhyme that Mel Brooks in with Delaware. I'm sure you're well aware. Anyway, something that I'm well aware of is that I don't get to Stratford-on-Avon often enough. Possibly, if anyone from Network Rail is listening, or Chiltern Trains, it's one of the reasons for that is it's a blinking difficult place to get to without a car. The train does go from Marylebone, but it's one or two trains. It's a nightmare. Whereas, for example, to get to Leicester, to get to Chichester, to get to Manchester even, there are fast and frequent direct trains to London. Get there nice and easy. And if I want to stay over and then be back at Baz Towers to do a day's hard graft the following day, I can do that with an early train back. That's not possible from Stratford-on-Avon. So hopefully the voices of or the ears of Network Rail may be listening to us today. Who knows?
Look, be on it. Let
Anyway,
me just explain the power of the midday show. Dave A. Sleet is now doing stand-up comedy and has got a gig through the sheer force. So I'm sure Network, or whoever it is who runs the railway, they're going to change everything for you.
Fantastic.
So
Henry V, which of course is a great war play of Shakespeare, one of his classic histories, along with Richard II, probably the most enjoyed, if that's the right word, of Shakespeare's speeches, of Shakespeare's history plays. Some great speeches. There's some Crispin's Day speech, and the young man who's playing Henry in this production is Alfred Enoch.
Now, why do I know him? I do. Why?
I don't know. I'll let you Google away while I rabbit away. And he makes a lovely job of Shakespeare, of Henry. I found him to be a credible leader. I found him to be a credible warrior, leader of his men. There's that awful moment in the play where he instructs his troops to kill their French prisoners, which is and in that one line, Shakespeare really defines how ugly war can be at times. And Alfred Enoch masters.
I know why I know him.
Speeches.
I know why I know him now. Not through it's interesting, not through his film work, because he was playing Dean Thomas in the Harry Potter, etc., etc. No, he does voiceover work for a series that I listened to. That's how I know.
Okay. So he's brilliant. The rest of the cast, a couple of them are standout good. Most of them are kind of forgettable. There's I wasn't hugely moved, particularly the whole business. There's a whole business in French towards the end of the play where he marries Catherine, having sort of completely conquered France. There's one particular chappie whose name I will mention, called Jamie Ballard, who doesn't play any big starring roles next to Henry, but he plays a couple of small roles, does them very brilliantly. He's obviously been an actor. Looking at him and reading his program credits, been around for quite a while, but he does his job extremely well. The Tamara Harvey, who is the co-artistic director of the RSC alongside Daniel Evans, she's gone a bit arty-farty in the war scenes. It's all a bit suggested and whatever. I'm not saying I want to see heavy steel clashing against heavy steel. Maybe we do. Yes. It's all a bit suggested. Having said that, what she has done is she's raided the local youth groups and drama groups of the West Midlands and Stratford-on-Avon. So it means when it comes to the battle scenes, she has roped in a huge number of extra. They're called supernumeraries in the theatre, which are people really, if they make the crowd in a crowd scene.
Okay.
So what does make the battle scenes?
We could do that.
We could do. What does make the battle scenes enjoyable, if that's the right word, is there are large numbers of people pretending to wave swords at each other and cutting each other, pretending to cut each other's throats and all that sort of stuff. So there's a lot of violence that's being suggested on there, and she has directed that with a little bit of imagination, but it gets a little bit too airy-fairy.
What did you think of my audition just then?
Well, I've got to be honest. As
Yeah.
I may have inclined to you, I didn't really see it
No,
because
oh,
I'm
you didn't see
actually
my
looking
audition
at my
just then.
I'm looking at my auto queue of all my reviews that I've written so that I can be on top of my reference point. So sadly, I missed your
I
your
don't think I
visuals.
have it. Alexis Parr will understand, coming from that sort of background. I don't think I've got it with me again. I had that one performance, Jonathan. I'm
Lovely.
sorry.
Okay.
I'm
Well,
sorry.
I
Just had that
listen.
one time.
Well, I'm
It's
sure
gone now.
I'm
It's
sure it'll
moved.
be
It's
there
gone.
on catch up.
No, I've moved
For
on.
those.
I'm exhausted from that. I'm exhausted.
So Henry V. It's on at Stratford. I think
Fabulous
it's got the
play,
best,
though,
best
isn't
part
it?
of it.
So it's a
It's a
fabulous
great
play.
play.
Oh, I love that
What
play.
I do like about the RSC is they don't really tinker with the verse, unlike Shakespeare's Globe, who certainly
Oh,
have a
you went nuts a
penchant.
few years
Yeah,
ago. You
yeah,
went absolutely potty over
yeah,
that.
yeah. So if
Don't
you want
mess with it. Leave it, please.
the verse is gorgeous. Alfred Enoch really gets his chops round some of the most beautiful speeches that Shakespeare wrote. They really are moving and inspiring. Now, in that respect, if you find yourself, able
In
to get up to
Stratford.
Stratford or in Stratford, or you want to make a trip up to Stratford, it's and you're prepared to sit through the thick end of, I think it's 2.5 hours of Shakespeare. It's very, in that respect, it's good. It's worth seeing. It's not a must
Can I
see. It's
say
not the
something?
best ever, but it's good fun. Go on.
Can I say something? And you'll get where I'm going with this. You sit through on our behalf, on your behalf, as a theatre critic, a lot of stuff that is worthy, and a lot of stuff that is about as subtle as getting hit in the face with a mallet.
Indeed.
It's just like, oh, I've got a political point to make. Oh, aren't I clever? No, you're not, because Jesus, I mean, put up a neon sign. It's that subtle. And I'm because we live in such completely mad times where everyone takes offense if the weather, if the wind changes direction, it's somebody's fault. I'm delighted they would put on something, and I'm just going to say it, as patriotic, quintessentially English as Henry V.
Well, it's interesting you say that, Russ, because I'm not entirely sure that was their intention. Having said that, one of the paragraphs, and I'm going to read this verbatim from my review. Enoch commands the stage with his presence, offering up a truly enjoyable snapshot of this most celebrated of warrior kings. One cannot help but reflect that as head of state some 600 years ago, his almost Churchillian stance offers up a bold contrast with the vapid leadership that England suffers today.
You think?
Not off. Not off.
You would have seen that coming.
Yeah,
that's really interesting. Well done,
so I'm not entirely sure that they were staging the play with a view to celebrating what England's.
No.
But cry God for Harry, England, and St. George.
Yeah, we're conflating two different things. I'm not saying, oh, they've put it on because.
Right.
I'm just saying it's a great play, full stop.
It is.
I'm delighted that they were putting on. I'm not suggesting there's any subtext, except it's a great play.
Indeed.
I also love, because I studied. So I guess my favorite Shakespeare plays are Henry IV, Part 1 and 2, because I studied them for A level. Absolutely adored them.
The ones that you study stick with you. For me, it was Hamlet and King Lear. And you're right.
Yes, I did. And then I did. Oh, what the hell did I do? Not Hamlet.
A Comedy of Errors.
I did Hamlet. No, I did Hamlet.
Yeah.
Well,
great. Yeah. Anyway, let me move on to a real treat.
Oh,
I saw this week while you were busy, hard at work, seeing the producers for
having the best time of the week.
Indeed. So I was round the corner from the Garrick Theatre. I was in some.
I could sense you.
Oh, well, indeed.
I could sense. I could.
Yeah. I mean, I had showered that morning. I do promise.
No, it's your aftershave. Unmistakable smell of brute.
Oh, yes. Well, I splashed it all over. Round the corner, St. Martin's Lane, the Duke of York's Theatre, Teeth and Smiles. Ooh, yes. This is a play written some 50 years ago by David Hare. Sir David Hare, happily written before Sir David Hare got too
steady.
left. He was a bit more centrist. So the play is called Teeth and Smiles. I think I wrote that. I think he was obviously cutting his political teeth when he wrote this one.
Oh, good one.
But this is a play about a rock band, a failing rock.
Oh, is that band. What it's about? I didn't. I'm completely.
It's about a failing rock band who are booked to play the May Ball at Jesus College, Cambridge, and they're booked to play 3 sets over the course of one evening.
Yeah.
And as the evening unfolds, the whole thing goes disastrously wrong for a variety of reasons. Yeah. What I really enjoyed about this play, because I went thinking, okay, it's David Hare. I went with my political antennae switched on, and it was nice really to really come across this early writing of his. Turned out, in fact, that my +1 was sat next to the great Sir David, so we clearly were given good seats in the stalls for that one. And it tells the story of this band. Yep. We're never told the name of the band, but we are given their lead singer, a woman called Maggie, who here is played by Rebecca Lucy Taylor, who is a pop artiste in her own right, goes by the name of Self-Esteem, who I'd never heard of, I've got to be honest. But when I chat to people half my age in Baz Towers who are obliged to spend the day working alongside me, they've all heard of her. So Rebecca Lucy Taylor.
Never heard of Yana.
Indeed. So she plays Maggie. And she really is in a drug-fueled, everything-fueled free fall of decline. Okay. Historical note, the play came out in 1975. Helen Mirren created the role back then when she was already a star, but not yet the mega star that she is today. And a real side comment is reading the program notes. One of my favorite ever films, British films, is The Long Good Friday.
Of course. Now there's been an eruption.
Indeed. And
hands across the water.
Yeah. Mafia, I shit them.
What a film.
What a film. And it was a great privilege of mine to have known Barry Keefe, the screenwriter, for a few years before he passed away. What a guy. And what struck me looking at the program notes from the 1975 production is how many people from Teeth and Smiles, in fact 3 actually, went on to be in The Long Good Friday. So that really is a by the by comment. Please, I've gone off the rails here.
No, you haven't. It's a great film.
So Rebecca Lucy Taylor is Maggie. She is, this band is failing. By the end of the night, they've failed completely. They really have. They are managed by a chap who's called Seraphian. That is the name of his character. He is played by Phil Daniels. Phil Daniels, this character Seraphian, is the most despicable piece of humanity.
I have to say before the show that Jonathan described him more shortcut and eloquently, but we're not going to do that now.
Indeed.
So you can imagine where we will be going.
Yes, indeed. It's the sort of thing where I would see you next Tuesday, but I won't, because I'll be somewhere else.
You've upset Chantal now. She's shaking her head. Oh God, we've got the look of disapproval. You don't want that from Chantal Rickards.
I'm used to looks of disapproval. Phil Daniels is, as I've written here, he is majestic in his monstrosity.
I love him.
We learn in the second half of the play quite what has driven him to be such a horrible piece of work. He's a fusion of Arthur Daly, who's a lovable rogue, and Iago from Othello, who's just a complete and utter
horrible person.
Yes, indeed. But Phil Daniels' acting is just
he's sensationally good. He's good. Anything that he's in.
I was just grinning when he's on stage. I'm grinning throughout because he nails what is required of this role. And I thought this play made. The music is played very, very well. The songs were written back in the day, and in fact, Rebecca Lucy Taylor has added a new song to it, written by the Becat brothers, Nick Becat and Tony Becat, who Chantal may recognise as having scored a number of movies. Don't ask me to list them here because I haven't got them on a screen in front of me. It's when you look at this play, David Hare wrote it in 1975. You can detect the rumblings of punk that was about to emerge, and the band, these half a dozen oikish musicians and roadies who really are on a mission of just smoking, drug abusing and shagging their way across England.
I like them.
You're well, quite.
My kind of guys.
It's just so entertaining. And from there also I got an inkling of The Young Ones, Rick Mayall's The Young Ones, that was to follow on TV some 7 years after the play opened. So Teeth and Smiles, I ridiculously enjoyed it. The only way to describe it. I thought it was fabulously acted. Rebecca Lucy Taylor really literally sings our heart out as her physicality declines. But there's a huge amount of passion. I would have liked to have seen her, in fact, in Cabaret at the Kit Kat Club, where she was Sally Bowles for quite a while. I didn't. I mean, there've been quite a lot of people who've gone through that casting role. If that is the sort of thing that appeals to you, a little bit of pre-punk rock music, I guess, if you're young, go and see Rebecca Lucy Taylor, aka Self-Esteem. You'll enjoy seeing her. If you're closer to our age, go and see Phil Daniels. He steals every scene he's in.
And now to wrap up, here's a very good question, which is a very good summation. It says this: out of all the play shows you've seen this month, what would you recommend to see? No better person to ask than Jonathan Baz.
Okay, well, certainly The Producers. You can't go wrong with The Producers. That's almost a family show because you're not going to offend anyone. Teeth and Smiles, very good. I'm scrolling through my what I've seen. Marie and Rosetta, which is only on until the 11th of April. Marie and Rosetta, this Beverly Knight piece about Rosetta Tharpe. That was an absolute banger of a show. Up at Highgate. Well, no, it's finished now.
Has it now finished? While we were waiting.
While they were waiting, that's gone.
Bless them.
So yeah, Marie and Rosetta, The Producers, and Teeth and Smiles. For me, they're not. It all depends what's your cup of tea, to be honest. But they're all
you've given everybody a smorgasbord of choice.
And there've been a few things that I've seen to avoid as well. We won't talk about that.
We won't talk about that. Talk about the positive stuff. Keep it upbeat, baby. Jonathan Baz, we will see you in a couple of weeks. Thank you.
As always, a pleasure.
I really enjoy it. I always love listening to the shows because it saves me having to go. apart from this week, which was fantastic. Bye. We love him. He's just great. Now, speaking of love, speaking of emotion, I thought she was in Austin, Texas, but it appears, no, she's shaking her noble head, her hair flowing like a Timotei advert, gently in the breeze of Wandsworth. Ladies and gentlemen, you know her, you love her. It is the highlight of everybody's week. Chantal Rickards, OBE.
I'm back. I'm back from Texas.
Yeehaw! Did you see my son? No. Do I see my son? No.
Give me his address and I'll go and hit him up the next time I'm in town.
Oh God, good luck with that. I haven't seen him in 4 years.
Oh,
I know, 4 years, my little guy. He lives in Austin. He lives in Texas, so I haven't seen him.
Well, it's literally it's the size of a sixpence, Austin. So I'm sure I'll bump into him.
That's all right. You probably run into him. Just look for somebody more miserable than me. That'll be the clue.
Well, in fact, as I got off the plane yesterday, I bumped into Paul Oakenfold, who'd been sitting a lot further up.
Hell, really?
Yeah, well, now. Yeah, Paul's moved to Austin from Los Angeles, and he used to be very supportive of BAFTA when I was in LA. So
he was, and he was huge here when the Jays were just breaking. They were breaking. Paul Oakenfold,
absolutely,
right up there, up there.
Yeah, and so he's moved to Austin. It's the hip new place to be.
Which is why, of course, my son wants to leave.
Oh, okay.
Kids, like, I just don't see the point of them. I don't see the bloody point. They are the biggest waste of sodding time, apart from my daughter. But all of the others, what a waste of time they are. Drive me mad. I say, don't leave. Oh, I think I'll come back. I said, you're not coming back to England. I said, don't. Why? I said, do you read the papers? Don't come back, please. Please go anywhere else. Don't come here. You know, if I was like his age, man, I'd be on the plane.
Well, I have to disagree. The more I go away, the more I really want to come home.
You do, but we've never agreed on that. You wanted to get out of LA, and I wanted to go and live in LA because I just like the weather and the food. You know, if you're not hustling out there, LA's fun. If you're trying to work there, it's a freaking nightmare because you've never met such insincere people in your life. Well, however insincere you think Los Angeles is, multiply it by 10. It's pathetic. It really is. But as a Brit, because you're so smart, you just see through it. You know, you just enjoy it because it's just bullshit.
Horses for courses, but I'm happiest at home. Let's put it that way.
What is about it? I'm going to ask you this. I know we've talked about it before. I know that's not why you're here, but what is it about you don't like? Well, don't say what you don't like about America because we haven't got time. But what is it you love so much about being here?
Well, I am sitting at my desk looking out at the blossom. There are 4 cherry trees that I can see from my window here. In fact, they were best last weekend, and I went out and I took photographs of them last weekend because I knew I was going to be away for a week, and by the time I got back, the blossom would have just turned. And actually, it's just glorious. I'm just thinking, lucky me. And I'm going to wander around later on and pick up some soup for lunchtime at Waitrose. And
you're setting the bar pretty bloody low.
No, but
I want to be in England because I can go and buy some soup from Waitrose. Jesus.
The sort of thing that fills my heart and fills my day. I'm very lucky to be able to do that. I'm easily pleased. Very easily pleased.
Yeah, I'm easily pleased, but I'm slightly more than I can get some soup from Waitrose. I got slightly higher expectations of my life.
No, but then after that, I've got the rest of the day to do all sorts of wonderful things. A bit of work, go to the gym, see some friends, go out for dinner. I've got all sorts of things.
Well, first of all, you've got friends, so I've lost, I've fallen at that first fence. Going to the gym, I've fallen at fence number 2.
Ah, okay.
I'm not doing well so far. Right. What have you managed to see anything? Because you're jet setting.
Yeah. No, because I loaded up my iPad with all sorts of good things to take with me.
Can I quickly say one thing that I saw?
Yes, please.
Okay. If I may, I'll be very quick.
Yeah, go for it.
There's a comedian. He's known as the Roast Master General because since he was a kid, he's been doing those very famous roasts in America, in LA, and New York. In New York, initially with the Friars Club. His name is Jeff Ross. Now, you either like Jeff Ross or you don't like Jeff Ross.
I know his name.
It's complete Marmite. There's no in between. I love Jeff Ross, and like my closest buddy, Lloyd and I are both obsessed with Jeff Ross. I've been for many, many years. And on Netflix, to my amazement, was this special, and it's called Take a Banana for the Ride. Which is what his grandfather used to say because he was trying to make it as a comedian, and he'd go, take a banana for the ride because he was on the bus all the time.
Okay. Right. Good name.
And it's a lovely name for a show, and it's a one-man show. Speaking of which, May the 5th. Crazy Cocks. And I was expecting it to be his normal, very rude, aggressive, very bombastic. Nothing like that. It was a beautiful, apart from one thing about the Queen, which was horrible. I hated it. But a beautiful, soft, gentle look through his life and his family. And I went, at one point, I was absolutely tearing up. The bit where he had to have his dog put down. I thought, come on. Anyway, if you like Jeff Ross and wanted to see, now, I thought it was absolutely stunning. It was so personal, emotive, it was genuine, it was real, it was heart-aching, it was unflinching. Not what I was expecting at all. So it's on Netflix, it's Jeff Ross, and it's it kind of helps if you know him, but you can look at it and never having seen him before if you just want to look at somebody's life.
And it's, but is it full of laughs? Is it full of gags?
No. Not
No.
at all.
Okay.
No.
All right. Well,
I mean, normally he is so aggressively, that's why I love him. He's really aggressive and really rude, but it's an act like Gilbert Gottfried. Gilbert Gottfried was so aggressive. Yeah. I saw Joan Rivers, okay, further than that. And in real life, really quiet, very quietly spoken. And the same with Jeff Ross. And he's very honest about who he really is and what his life's been like and how he felt so mortal when, to his horror, he discovered he had cancer. And he said, I was really terrified. I'm crying. And you think, oh, this is Jeff Ross. It's really, I thought it was beautiful, but that's just
okay.
me.
All right. Well, no, I'll take a look later. Yeah, it's completely passed me by.
And I apologize in advance because he does one thing about Our Late Majesty, and I hated it.
Okay.
I'm not even going to say what it is. It was disgusting. But that's him. He pushes it as a comedian. Anyway, I'm shutting up now.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll give you something else to watch over the weekend. I know, or you may have seen it because a lot of people are talking about it. Have you seen Gone on ITV?
No.
Right. No. I will watch nearly anything with David Morrissey in.
Oh, he's good, isn't he? Great.
He's just brilliant. He's such a classy actor. And this is a 6-part psychological thriller with Eve Miles, who is a Welsh actress who I also think is terrific. And the pair of them are great. They don't spend that much time together, but when they are together on screen, they are just brilliant. But it is the story of a headmaster of a boys' school on the outskirts of Bristol, very posh boys.
Kind of like Clifton. Clifton, you say.
Yeah. Bit of a posh boys' school, and David Morrissey plays the not terribly likable headmaster. So and then his wife goes missing, so he is suspect number 1, and there is a very long list of suspects. I've done 3 episodes and I think I'm up to about 12 suspects.
That's right.
Could be
Detective Inspector Rickards. Are you narrowing it down? Yeah, I've got about a dozen people that I'm going to pull their collars.
No, I'm normally better at this, and I can go, oh, it's that one.
It's that one.
It's the ex-lover, or the, the lousy child, or the something.
Yeah, lousy child. That's my bet.
There are all sorts of people in this, and I'm just not really. I mean, it's probably because I'm tired. I'm not concentrating enough because I
don't know how you're even doing this and looking so fresh. I've been nowhere. Where have I been? I went to Lidl. My whole trip, I went to Lidl and back, right? You've been to Austin, Texas and back. I look worse.
No. Well, I also went to Lidl yesterday when I got back. Because after Waitrose, Lidl is my next favourite supermarket.
Lidl. That sums up my life. My entertainment factor is walking down the middle aisles, seeing if I need a drill. I don't need a drill, but it's there.
Yeah. The middle of Lidl is a thing of wonder.
They've got a great sense of humour, these guys. They're very funny. They're funny. They are funny. They know what they're doing. They know.
Absolutely. No, I've bought complete rubbish in the middle of Lidl several times before, and then I haven't used any of them. But if I want to suddenly froth some milk, I've got a milk frother.
You're the woman to know. Southwest London, if you need your milk frothing, pop round to Chantal's.
I literally have never used it in my entire life. But it's there in case you come around and you want to come. Why
do we do? I buy shit. And on the way home, I go, why the hell did I buy? It's absolute crap. I'm never going to use it.
No, at the time,
I love it.
Yep. £7.99, really well spent on something I'm never going
it's
to
like
use.
half a coffee these days in town. It's not even a glass of wine.
Anyway,
it's a good show, this Gone thing, ITV.
Gone. It's called Gone, 6-parter, ITVX, where I hope all the episodes are there, because if they are, I'm going to curl up on the sofa later and do the last 3. Because I did
when you get back from the gym and Waitrose and seeing your friends.
Yeah, exactly.
You've got a busy day.
I've got a very busy day ahead of me. Eve Miles plays the detective. She plays the FLO, the family liaison
officer.
Yes. and she goes round to the house. There is a daughter who's acting fairly suspicious. There's a lover on the scene. There's the son of a lover. There is another detective who's a little bit sus. Anyway, it's all
another
going on.
detective. Unlike the police to be corrupt. Julie voice, I love this. She pops in for some milk. She comes out with a paddling pool.
No. That's much better than my
voice. That is the funniest thing you have ever written. That is classic.
We want photographic evidence of that.
Oh no, we'll have a drinking milk in a paddling pool next. That'll be
Anyway, gone pretty darn good, I would say. Certainly.
Are you trying to get through Scarpetta? Haven't tried yet.
Since we last spoke.
I gotta tell you, I was really curious because I always listen to whatever you say, of course. And no, I do. It's not joking. I'm serious, And oh, man, I've tried, and I've tried 3 times to get into Scarpetta because I adore the books, read them for 30 years.
Yeah.
Huge Patricia Cornwell fan. Think she's a fantastic writer. I love her as a human being. Everything like that. Just.
Did you get as far as the story of spaceships and Martians and little green men?
No, I haven't got that far yet. I thought people were kidding. People are saying there's this huge amount of discussion on it. If you don't know what it is, this is a series of books. She sold over 300 million books.
A lot of books.
About a forensic pathologist called Kay Scarpetta.
Yeah.
Written by a terrific writer called Patricia Cornwell.
Oh, Patricia Cornwell's in the program as well.
Yes, I know. She does. She swears in Nicole Kidman.
Yeah.
And she said, because I was reading it, she said, I couldn't even do that without fluffing my lines. And I wrote back and I said, I had to play myself in a gangster film, and I couldn't even do that properly. I messed up my lines. And huge amount of, they've been trying to bring this to television for 25 years plus, right? A long, long time. And finally they did it with Nicole Kidman playing Kay Scarpetta. Totally wrong. I'm sorry. I'm a huge Nicole Kidman fan. Just wrong. Now, there's 2 ways of looking at this.
In a way, the thing about her, she's sort of, I love her and I really like her work. She's slightly too big for the role.
Yeah, because you keep thinking it's Nicole Kidman.
Yeah.
Whereas you want the actor to be submerged in the roles, which is why when you talk about Scandi Noir, we don't have a clue who these people are, so they might well be detectives or killers. We don't know. We don't know if we don't know anything about them. So the people who've grown up with these books, in their head, all of the main characters, and they all feature regularly, you've got them locked in. You've imagined them for 30 years. Yeah. So when you see them, you go, that's not Chantal Rickards, that's how I see her. And then other people say, well, forget the books, just treat it as a TV show, which kind of defeats the purpose, I think, because you love the books. It's like if they did, I don't know, Harry Potter, and forget the books. Well, no, I don't know. I just find it. It's too slow. I tell you the main problem with it.
It is quite
damn slow. It's so
too many
slow.
episodes. Yeah,
too many episodes. Not enough plot line. The plot doesn't move enough. So you kind of lose it, and it goes down so many little side roads. You think, I don't care. Just chase the killer. That's why we're here. Follow the clues. But no. Anyway, there we go.
It is a little bit ponderous. I've certainly enjoyed the first 3 or 4, but I'm not sure I'm going to go back and finish it off. But anyway, there is more out there for me to watch, including, well, I have already watched it, but I'm definitely going to watch some more to see how far I get on. There's a series called Imperfect Women, which is a strange title because
impossible title.
No such thing.
Out there, it is fantasy. Fantasy.
Absolutely, but it's absolutely frothy nonsense, and it's a bit girly. I'm warning you. If you like a bit of girly frothy nonsense, it's about 3 women
in real life, yes, but not on television. Thank you.
Well, but it's also a thriller, actually. So it's 3 women who are best friends, who are Kerry Washington, who is a terrific actress. Elizabeth Moss, who is
neat.
my favorites from West Wing and Handmaid's Tale.
Never mind that. Isn't she from? Am I going mad? The Matrix. Have I got completely the wrong person?
Oh God, I don't know. I don't watch them with the Matrix. It's sci-fi. I don't do sci-fi.
Bye.
Elizabeth Moss was the lead
I'm looking
actress.
her up. Yeah, wait a minute. I'm going to look it up. Keep talking.
Handmaid's Tale. Did you watch that?
No, of course not.
Right. Did you watch Mad Men?
Yes, some of it.
Right. She was the lead actress in Mad Men.
Elizabeth Moss. I got completely the wrong person. Forget. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. No, it's not her. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Forget it.
Right. She was John Hamm's sidekick in Mad Men.
Okay.
And her biggest thing ever was Handmaid's Tale.
Okay.
And she's a very classy actress. She does lots of things that are really sort of quite different. But this somehow she's ended up in this slightly overblown, frothy thriller, for want of a better word. But it's also about the relationship of the three women. One of the women dies.
Uh-oh.
Exactly. And so there's everything to play for, basically. And it's interesting that the background is two of them are incredibly wealthy and have rather sort of interesting lives. The Elizabeth Moss character is the sort of slightly dowdy one. She's married to an English professor. This is all in America, clearly. Married to an English professor and has, a house full of kids and everybody sort of, running around with no shoes on type of thing. So the three characters are quite different, but also there's quite a lot about how much do they know about each other's lives and who's sharing. It's interesting in a group of three women who shares what with whom, because you don't always tell every girl everything. And I know that even from my own girls' groups. There are some of the girls that I will tell really sort of deep and meaningful things to, but I wouldn't tell the others. It's that side of it I thought was quite interesting. Anyway, there is a mystery. There is a lot of fabulous clothes, gorgeous houses, good acting, because all three women are great actresses.
It's like Selling Sunset.
Yeah, well, yes. The clothes and the houses are really worth having a look at. And then there's the husband of the person who is no longer there, and he's a wrong 'un, but then again you never know.
Is he though? Is he?
Well, is he? I haven't got to the end of it, so maybe I'll tell you at the next Friday.
No, don't tell us.
No, you've got to keep up and watch these things quickly, because I can't keep a secret to myself.
I don't have. You know what? My problem is I don't have the concentration. It's awful.
Yes, you do.
I don't have the. I do if it grabs me. I'm like immersed. Like the hour and a half special from Jeff Ross. I don't know where the time went. It felt like 20 minutes. Right. And other stuff like the Scarpetta, I'm like looking at my phone, which I never do when I'm watching TV. I don't. It's my rule. And I'm thinking, should I go and get a coffee? Should I have a whiskey? I mean, what am I going to do tomorrow? My mind's like going crazy. Yeah. There we are.
Okay, I'm going to tell you about a new channel now that you might already have.
What?
Yes, it started yesterday, and I have been waiting for it for some time. So all the programs from HBO, the fabulous American network that's been making lots and lots and lots of really edgy drama for years.
HBO, yeah.
HBO in the UK, we tend to get all of their stuff through Sky, because Sky has bought all the HBO catalogue, in effect. That was up until yesterday, because HBO now have their own streaming channel, but it's part of the Sky package. Wow. So in theory, if either you've got the Now entertainment package or the standard Sky package, then you will have HBO Max, as it's called. And as part of that, they have released a program that came out 16 months ago in America, January 25, called The Pit. I have been waiting for it all that time, because it was an instant hit in America, but was not shown until last night or the night before in the UK.
Oh, okay.
And The Pit is, for years and years and years, they'd been trying to do a spin-off of ER. I don't know, did you watch ER that, threw up George Clooney?
No, because I was tired of people coming up to me, George, can I have your autograph? I said, please, not now, I'm eating.
Okay. Well, I was a massive ER fan back in the day,
Yeah.
and a massive fan of George Clooney too.
He talks about it when we have lunch.
Ah, indeed.
Yeah,
Good. Very pleased.
He tells me. Yeah.
And so the people who had helped create that had been negotiating with Michael Crichton, who was the original person who conceived the ER concept. And you probably heard of Michael Crichton.
Kidding? Coma, everything.
Exactly. Coma,
Everything.
which I adored. Yeah, that was a great film. Anyway, he is no longer with us. What?
It was a better book.
Oh, the book was fantastic. It was a better book. You're right. The book was terrific.
Did he not write? Am I going completely mad again, like with Elizabeth Moss? What's the matter with me today? Did he not write Jurassic Park?
I think he did. I think he did write Jurassic Park. You're right.
Crichton did that. Michelle Vaughan, your mate down in Sydney, wants to know, I missed the title of the last thing about the three women. What's it called and where can I find it?
It was called Imperfect Women.
Imperfect Women, Michelle. And you'll find it wherever you find Imperfect Women.
Imperfect Women is on Apple.
Cases everywhere.
It's on Apple, Michelle.
Oh,
sorry. Okay. You might find it somewhere else, but I doubt it. Okay.
Maybe in Little.
Okay, so back to the pit. I'm going to tell you about the pit. So they tried to negotiate with Michael Crichton's widow to do an ER spin-off. And they particularly wanted to focus on the actor Noah Wyle, who played Dr. Carter, Dr. John Carter, the young one in ER.
He was young at the time, yes.
Yeah. And the wife would not give permission for it to be created. So they then thought, okay, well, we'll write our own. That again is another high tension drama based in an emergency room. We'll call it The Pit, as in Pittsburgh, because that's where it's based.
I see. I thought it was the Pit and the Pendulum. You see,
no, not the Pit and the Pendulum.
Vincent Price.
Pit as in Pittsburgh. And of course, it is a bit, I think there's supposed to be a play on words about the fact that this is the sort of the end of the world as we know it. It feels a bit like that because it is utterly chaotic. It is shot, every episode is 1 hour in a day. So you see the actors getting sort of more and more tired, more and more frantic. But actually, it's been praised by a hell of a lot of medical professionals who said that this really feels like being in an ER. So they've created a whole studio that totally replicates in 3D a full ER setup. And so they've got lots of lightweight cameras that just go in and out of everything. They rehearse over and over and over again the medical procedures. It's very well researched. The energy obviously is just kept up because the pace is intolerable in most ER rooms or accident and emergency setups. And Noah Wyle, I could watch forever. He's a really, really good actor. He plays the sort of head resident guy who is sort of running the ER, but of course he's having a little bit of a argy-bargy with the management, which is to be expected, and it plays in lots of the themes about the fact that there aren't enough hours in the day. There are too many people who come in who are on drugs, and that's why they're sick, and they're using up the time for people who have other illnesses that you might think are more important. I don't know, but there are lots of sort of social issues that they play out whilst they're telling some really good stories. So I would highly recommend it. I watched the first 6 episodes back to back. Yeah, on a plane about 2 or 3 weeks ago. It was actually on American Airlines, and I thought, yippee, I can watch it here. But it is now in Great Britain
and Australia.
And
your pal Michelle has just pointed out, it's on Prime.
Oh, it's on Prime over there. Okay, well, there you go. So hopefully anybody who loved ER back in the day and likes a good medical drama that's pacey and interesting and snappy.
You love your medical dramas.
I love a medical drama.
Yeah, I do.
I know. Always wanted to be a doctor.
Spent too much time in hospital last year, so I had my own medical dramas. Thank you very much. I know people absolutely adore them. I mean, how many years has Casualty been running on BBC? Like forever.
God.
Right?
20.
Vera Lynn was a young girl. I don't know. I mean, Vera Lynn. Margaret Rutherford is the page 3 pinup. I mean, people love medical dramas. I don't get it.
You don't get
at all.
it?
No, I am.
Oh,
No, I
love
don't.
all of human life is there.
No, I get that. I don't know why you. I don't know, but then I like police procedurals, and people might say, well, "Why do you want to watch that? It's horrible. People are dead." And I went, "Well, yeah, I know." But there we are. It's horses for courses. What are we?
Courses.
What are we?
And I've got a ton of other things I want everybody to watch, but we've run out of time.
No, go on then. Go on. Why not?
No. I've got to go. Got to go.
Shit, yeah, because Waitrose won't wait.
No, actually, I have a Zoom with my American colleagues at 1 o'clock.
Oh, no, you're just so important. I've got sod all to do, so I'm going to... Bye-bye, Chantal Rickards, OBE. Welcome back.
It's been lovely. It's been lovely, and I'll see you next time.
It's been emotional. Bye. Thank you. Bye-bye. There she goes, off on her Zoom calls with people important, and I'm going to jump on a tube, I think. Am I? Yeah, probably. Yeah, I see. This is it. You see, this is it. Kimmy gets it. Temptress. She tempts us with her lustrous looks and then buggers off to do a Zoom call. Anyway, that's it for another week on the Midday Show. Thank you so much for joining. I'm Russ Kane, and you are you all over the world, Australia and America and all over the UK and up in Scotland and everywhere, and Spain. Thank you so much for watching. Love having you along. Have a lovely weekend. We're back on wear my hat. I'm not wearing that hat. I was just yesterday I got cheesed off for 2 stupid reasons, which I won't bore you with now. So I wore a tea cozy to cheer myself up, and it worked. I wore it as a hat. I'm not well. Have a lovely weekend, everybody. Take care. Bye.